In the last class, we have discussed regarding the what is manhole, what are its importance, where it has to be located, and along with what are the different types of manholes. And we also have seen the drop manhole and other sewer appurtenances. In today's class, we will be discussing regarding the two sewer appurtenances, that is oil and grease trap, and then the inverted siphon. Along with that, we are also going to discuss regarding the house drainage connections. Okay. Now, as the name is indicating, the grease and oil traps. Now, oil and grease, these are the sewer appurtenances which is going to remove the oil and grease which is present in the wastewater. Okay. Now, these it is oil and grease are it is especially it is designed in order in the sewer line to exclude the grease and the oil from the sewage before they are going to enter into the sewer line. Now, it is located in where it is located is near the workshops, where more amount of grease is going to be used as workshops, automobile workshops, kitchens, gardens, right? There it has to be use all these grease and oil traps. Now, why these grease and oil has to be removed before it is going to enter into the sewer line? Now, why it has to be removed is the grease and oil which are going to enter into the sewer line, which is going to stick. Okay, if the wastewater is entering into the sewer line with having the oil and grease, okay, what will it will do is it is going to stick to the interior. If oil and grease are there, then it is going to stick to the interior of the conduit, and it is going to get absorbed here. And if sand, silt and grit, if it is present in the wastewater, what it will do is all these oil and grease, it is going to attract all these sand and grit particle, and ultimately what will happen, the sewer size is going to be get reduces. And this is the one thing. And in addition to this, the presence of oil and grease, if it is present in water, it is going to increase the possibility of explosion in the sewer line. Okay, as the oil and grease are there, it is going to develop a gas inside it, and there is a possibility of the explosion. If even a small spark, it is going to generate the gas, and if even a small spark is going to be get generated, then it is going to have the capacity to cause the explosion. Okay. Then, due to the presence of oil and your grease in the sewer, is the floating matter will be having the tendency to getting attracted towards the end. Okay. Then the presence of oil and grease on the surface of the wastewater, it is going to prevents the oxygen to penetrate, due to which the aerobic bacteria will not survive, and hence it is the organic matter is not going to be decomposed, and it is going to give the bad odor into the sewer line. Okay. Now, presence and oil also oil and grease will also cause the difficulty in the treatment of the wastewater. It is going to create the difficulty in the treatment of wastewater. So that is the reason why we need to have this oil and the grease trap. Okay, now we will see, we have seen the why we need to provide the oil and the grease trap. It should not have the explosion. It will get the suspended particle which are present in the wastewater. It is going to be get attracted towards the end your sewer line, and the capacity of the sewer line is going to get reduced. It is going to give you the bad odor. Okay, and then your aerobic bacteria is going to be died. That is the reason why we need to remove this oil and the grease from the wastewater. Now we will see the working procedure of the oil and the grease trap. Now, here the wastewater whichever we need to remove the oil and grease trap, it is going to enter here. Now, as you know that the specific gravity of the oil is less than your water, so what will happen, it is going to be present on the top surface, and then the way only the water is going to pass, the oil and grease will be remaining at here only. Okay, then the wastewater is going to pass, and then the wastewater is going to be at the outlet. Okay, now here we have provided one the inlet and with the grating. The reason why is the large floating matter should not enter into the oil and grease trap. The oil and grease trap will be present in this particular chamber, right? Only the wastewater is going to flow outside. So this is how the oil and grease it is going to be get removed from the wastewater. Now we are going to see one more important aspect, that is a sewer apparatus. We are going to discuss regarding the inverted siphon. Okay, now as the name is indicating, the inverted siphon, when we are going to provide is when a sewer line dips below the hydraulic gradient line. This is nothing but your sewer, right? If it is drips below the hydraulic gradient line, then we call it as an inverted siphon. Okay, now when we are going to use these inverted siphon, okay, the inverted siphon is going to be used when the sewer is under the obstruction such as your roadway, railway, right, and stream, river, etc. There we are going to provide. Suppose if there is an roadway or a railway in which is present over the sewer line, in such cases what we are going to do, we are going to provide this inverted siphon. The sewage through the inverted siphon will flow under pressure which is greater than the atmospheric. Okay, then the hydraulic gradient line is above the flow line, whereas the true siphon, the hydraulic gradient line will be below the flow line. Okay, it will be more appropriate where we are going to provide this your inverted siphon is we need to provide it into the depressed sewer. Okay, then we will see where we can when we are going to have the design the inverted siphon, what all points we should keep in mind. First is the construction of the siphon should be very simple. Okay, then the changes in the direction should be easy, and it is going to be the gradual. Then it is necessary to it should have the self cleansing velocity, that is of 1 meter per second of the minimum flow should be there in your inverted siphon. Then the selection of the pipes should be proper, and the minimum and average and maximum flow should be considered. Okay, then the possibility of silting also should be avoided, or it should be minimized by providing the screens and all. We should take care that the no floating material should enter into the sewer line. Okay, then if the length of the siphon is more, then at the particular interval we should provide the hatch boxes should be getting provided. Next is, or we will see what are the disadvantages of inverted siphon. The downward gradient in the siphon pipe is not continuous, then they are going to be likely to be get silted. Okay, if their gradient is not proper and it is not continuous, then there is a possibility of the silt deposition, and if there is no self cleansing velocity is there, then it is going to create a problem. Okay, it is not possible to give the side connection to the inverted siphon, and if these are not properly anchored, then it may be subjected to the floating when it is going to be empty. Okay, it goes under the flotation when it is an empty condition. Now this is regarding your inverted siphon. We will see now regarding the principle of house drainage. Now in the previous classes, while telling you regarding the introduction, we have discussed regarding something regarding the water carriage system. Okay, now there is an water carriage system and the house drainage are the similar things. Now, what is we need to see when we are going to see the house drainage? We need to see what is a drainage, what do you mean by that, and also we need to understand why we need to provide the house drainage and what principle should be applicable in under the principles of a house drainage. So in today's class we are also going to discuss regarding what is house drainage, what are the principles of the house drainage and how it can be maintained. So this we are going to discuss. Now what is drainage, right? Drainage, okay, it is going to something, it is going to say that the arrangement which are going to be provided in a house or a building for collecting and conveying the wastewater through the drain pipes by gravity. Okay, it is what it does is it is going to collect the wastewater which is going to be generated in a house, and it is going to convey the wastewater through the pipes. These are nothing but the pipes, okay, by which is going to flow with the help of gravity, and it is going to ultimately it is going to join the public sewer. Now why we need to have it, right? I have we have spoken regarding the conservancy and water carrier system. In the conservancy system, what has to happen? The waste, whatever the house is producing, it is going to be produced in the backyard of the house, and it is going to create an unhygienic condition. Whereas your water carrier system, what it does is it is going to take the wastewater whatever it has been generated in a house, and it is going to be dumped, or it is going to be disposed into the sewer line with the help of the water without creating unhygienic condition. That means the wastewater whatever is going to flow, it is going to flow and through the underground conduits under the closed condition, which is not going to create an environmental unhygienic condition. It is completely environmental and it is hygienic. So here in your house drainage system, what we are going to have is we are going to discharge the wastewater whatever it has been generated in a house in an underground conduit with the help of the gravity, and we are going to dispose it to the main drains. Okay, so this is your regarding what is an house drainage. It is going to maintain the hygienic conditions. Now we will see what are the purpose of the house drainage system. Okay, it is to maintain the healthy conditions inside the house. Suppose if we dispose the waste water whatever it has to be it is going to be generated, if suppose we are going to dispose it into the backyard, what would have happened? It would have created and completely an unhygienic conditions, okay, near to the surrounding people. Now here what is going to happen? It is going to carried out into the closed conduit, and it is going to be disposed. Okay, now to dispose the wastewater, the one more objective is early and quickly the wastewater is going to be get disposed. Okay, now again it is going to prevent the entry of the fall gases, right, from the sewer or to the septic tank. It is going to prevent the production of the fall gases. Next is to have the quick removal of the fall matter, that is nothing but the human excreta or the wastewater whatever we are going to generate. Okay, then it is going to collect the wastewater very systematically. It is going to collect the wastewater in a very systematic way. Now we will see regarding what are the different principles of the house drainage system. Okay, we will see what are the principles that we need to adopt. Okay, now here the lavatory blocks should be located that the drainage line is minimum. Okay, we should locate our toilet so that the drainage line, okay, the length of the line or the wastewater that has to be traveled should be minimum. Okay, now in case of the multi-storied building, these lavatory blocks should be located one above the other, okay, so that it is going to the pipe connection, so the length of the pipe connection it is going to be get minimized, and then at least one wall of the WC should be connected to the main wall, so that it is going to help in fixing of the vent pipes and the different waste your waste carrying pipes. Your at least one wall of the toilet, right, it should be present near to the main wall. It should be connected to the main wall so that it is going to help in easy facilitating of the wastewater. Okay, the drainage pipe should be laid by the side of the building. Okay, it should, the drainage pipe should pass through the side of the building. Now you should not, as an engineer, you should not take this wastewater line like this. Okay, why is, if you are take through the building, if any kind of a repair and any other works are, if maintenance work if you want to do, you cannot do it if you take the wastewater line like this. So always take the wastewater line, right, beyond your construction area. You should take it in the open area. Okay, then the drain should be aligned with having the straight, it should be straight, and it is the inspection chambers should be located. Thus I see whatever I have written, this is nothing but the inspection chamber. Now suppose if any blockages are there, what you can do is you can clear those obstruction from the inspection chamber, you can weave it, you can clear it. So again in between you should have the inspection chamber so that it is going to help into your help during the maintenance of your pipelines. Next is the slope. The slope of the drains should be sufficient so that it should have self-cleansing velocity. The wastewater should flow on by its own gravity. Okay, the size of the drains should be sufficient so that the flooding of wastewater should not take place. Okay, so it should be of sufficient size. Then the drainage system should consist of enough number of traps at a suitable locations. Okay, then the all connections should be watertight, right? The material whatever you are going to use, right, it should be chosen carefully. Okay, it should be chosen very carefully, that it should have the enough hard, strong and resistance against the corrosion. It should be, again the next part is the entire system should be designed, okay, such that the possibility of formation of airlocks, okay, and then the siphoning action under the deposit should be very minimized. Okay, then this is one condition. The house drainage should also be disconnected to the public sewer by providing of the intercepting trap. Okay, why we need to do is, this is going to avoid the entry of the small fall sewage from your septic tank or from the main sewer line again back to the house. So this is how we need to have, these are nothing but the different principle of the house drainage. In your examination they may ask you with the neat sketch explain the different your house drainage principle. Okay, so in that case you need to draw this particular diagram and you need to explain the things. Okay, so in today's class we have discussed regarding what are the grease and oil traps, and then we have discussed regarding what is the principle of the house drainage with the neat sketch. Thank you.